Alright, thanks for clicking on this video. We're going to the Chicago Toy Show, which is actually nowhere near Chicago, or an hour plus out. I first learned about this years ago, and I always thought, oh shoot, I'm driving. And I always thought that it would probably be like just a few old dudes with some toys, overpriced toys, and it wouldn't be that fun. But actually, I went in October for the first time. It's amazing. So I brought my lovely Pudn with me, and now we're going to go check it out. And at the end of this video, we're going to show you all the cool stuff that we bought. All right.
Oh.
So as you can see, there was an amazing amount of stuff there, almost too much stuff, if you will. For sure, there were a lot of people, but we felt okay because we've had our shots and we were wearing masks the whole time. I can't believe that this thing's been going on, I think, for 40 years or so. And I've only attended the one in October and then the one you saw there in April. So we're going to go through the majority of the stuff we bought and unbox some stuff and show off some stuff. And I just had an amazing time. We'll start with a little small stuff first. We found these NES and Super NES. I didn't grow up with this stuff. I grew up with Atari, but my wife here, the Pudn, she grew up with Nintendo, and it's gotten me hooked recently. I can't stop playing it. I love the SNES a little bit more than the NES, but it's all good stuff. Now these we got for $1 each, which is kind of neat. Usually they're like $3 to $5 on eBay, plus a little bit of shipping and stuff. So we got ice hockey, where it's really primitive. Stanley Cup. So these are things that I had the games ready. I just needed the little manuals. Home Alone 2. And then this is Atari 2600 Classic Journey. I don't have my Atari 2600. Sold it years ago on eBay, but I kind of wish I did. But I still love the Journey game, so I wanted to get the manual on that. Now for actual games, for Super Nintendo, I got Tick, where you're this kind of Tick character, of course, and you're cruising around the town beating up ninjas, screen after screen after screen. I think it takes like 3.5 hours to actually beat this whole game. I got it for 15, usually retails 18 to 25, so I was happy with that. And then we got a handful of games for $5 each. Platoon, where you're a soldier looking around to kill people who want to kill you. I still haven't figured out how to play it well, but got that for $5. Jaws, classic movie, and a classic NES game where you're in a boat, and then you're swimming, and then you're trying not to get eaten by the shark. Bad Dudes, where you're a bad dude of all things, and again, don't really know, I don't have the manual, but I'm assuming you just punch and beat people up and try to stay alive as long as possible. Blade Steel, I love hockey, collect a lot of hockey things, even started playing ice hockey myself a few years ago, horribly, but playing. Blade Steel, you're just a hockey guy playing some hockey, of course. And MTV Remote Control, classic show, loved watching it, it's a trivia game. So, got all these for $5 each, retail. These ones, anyway, from like 5 to 8 to 10 to 12, so not a great bargain. But I wasn't at this toy show looking to flip, so I wasn't looking, obviously we were looking for a great bargain, but everyone there seems to be like a toy collector, or they owned a store, so it's probably people that go to an estate sale or flea market, or they purchase a person's whole lot. And of course they purchase low and they sell high. Prices generally were pretty good. They were around eBay prices, so I was trying to ask a few dollars off of what was listed all the time. So I don't feel like I got any great deals, but I bought a lot of stuff that I love, and that's all that matters, really. One of my favorite science fiction shows from the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, I believe, was Buck Rogers. I found this large kind of storyboard, not really a comic, because I think it's just actual, oh, it is a comic, big comic book. I have big comic books for Star Wars, so I figured I'd get the one for Buck Rogers. I think it's maybe worth like $10, and I got it for $8. It's a prop, nice piece. Always wanted it. It'd be awesome to have in mint condition. This one's a little banged up, shall we say. I got them down to 50, and I've seen them on eBay for 75, 80, so it was nice to get with the thermos, and I love the show. Love Twiggy and Wilma and Buck and all the crazy things. Even a little bit of season 2, Hawk is okay, but really season 1 is where you go with Buck Rogers in the 25th century. My first collecting passion is music. I love LPs, CDs, and all that. And one of the first bands actually that got me into rock and roll was Kiss. So I was really happy to find this at a toy show. I'll always look for LPs and music, stuff like that, because sometimes when people have a booth, they'll add on other stuff to their booth just to try to sell. And this guy had a nice Kiss CD case. CDs are still something I listen to, still put them in the car, so nice Kiss Army CD case. I got it for $8, and the only one I really found on eBay of the same logo design was like $25, so I guess it's a good bargain. But again, not looking to flip, I'm just looking to own some cool stuff. Kiss CD case makes me a lot cooler than I was before I owned the Kiss CD case. Next up, I got this King Kong game, came out in 1976. I do recall seeing the movie, not so much in the theaters, but on TV a lot. Jessica Lange and all that. We always buy board games because I always think we're going to have like a board game night and we're going to play all these board games. Got Welcome Back, Kotter, and some really cool classic Kiss vintage board games. Of course, we always just watch TV, but it's the idea. It's the thought that counts, right? So I got this King Kong board game. It's really nice, 1976. Let's see, I got it for $20, and it's kind of worth maybe $20 to $25. So it wasn't a great steal, but I just love all this classic artwork on it, so it's kind of neat just to have. Another prop, new thing I bought, lunchbox. I like the lunchboxes. It takes me back when you went to grade school and you had the little lunchbox. My mom was kind of mean to me. I had a Kiss lunchbox, which I still have in my collection, and when I would forget my Kiss lunchbox at school, my mom would make me bring the strawberry shortcake lunchbox. Of course, kids tease the hell out of you for that. And then in weird parenting style, that would teach me a lesson not to forget my good lunchbox at school. Somehow, I don't know. So these old school metal lunchboxes I always on the lookout for. They're really collectible, so they're usually really high price, so you have to pay a lot. Again, Love Boat, Welcome Back Kotter, Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers, all my favorite shows from way back when. Love Welcome Back Kotter. It's probably my first top show. I was able to meet John Travolta at like a kind of a autograph convention thing just a few years ago, and I told him how much I love Welcome Back Kotter, and he seemed to appreciate it, and it made my day. So I got the Welcome Back Kotter lunchbox with the thermos. I paid $75 for it in this condition with the thermos. It's probably worth $85 to $100, so got a little bit of a bargain. I'm happy with it. Obviously, I made it past grade school, so I don't have to use it for my lunch anymore, but I love it. I have all the Welcome Back Kotter figures, so they'll sit right behind them, really nice, add a nice thing to my collection, so when I look at it, I feel happy. Like I said, my first love is music and records and stuff, so I can combine kind of the TV shows I used to love to watch with that. It's kind of neat. So I got a record of Planet of the Apes for $20. It's probably worth $20, $25. You don't see these too often. 4 exciting new stories of the Planet of the Apes. So I don't know if these stories kind of take off more probably where the TV show Planet of the Apes was. Of course, Planet of the Apes was originally a movie series, and then a TV show, and then a cartoon, and then it came back with Tim Burton's weird version, and then more recently it's came back with the classic, or not classic, but great 3 new releases, and it just lives on and on and on. It's crazy. I never thought Planet of the Apes would be kind of like Star Wars in the sense that it just won't die. Yeah, I always root for the apes. Actually, the gorillas. The most expensive purchase I made, which is why I won't be getting any new groceries this week, is the Planet of the Apes trash can. I actually need a trash can here for my collection area. I paid $90 for it, and it's probably worth between that and $100. So I should have asked maybe for $80 to get a little lower, but I was just so happy to see it. The paint still looks really nice on it. And if you're going to be a nerd and nerd out and have action figures everywhere in your basement, you might as well nerd out and have a good Planet of the Apes trash can. So I was really happy to find this. Of course, as you saw in the footage, tons of Star Wars stuff. I would say for the Chicago Toy Show, G.I. Joe and Star Wars probably made the top 2 prominent toys, action figures, dolls, whatever, that you're going to find. It was a ton of stuff. I got Logray, one of the Ewoks. Not a big fan of the Ewoks, but they're the ones I needed. I got him complete. Paid $20 for him. I've seen him 20, 25, 28 on eBay complete, but he's kind of nice. Put him in a little plastic case and put him up with all my other little Star Wars dudes there. I got the Rancor Keeper. Of course, being a zookeeper, I always have a soft spot for the Rancor Keeper, and when that Rancor dies, I know we've spent hours crying about it. We want the Rancor to live on forever. Wish he was vegetarian, so he didn't have to eat the other Star Wars characters that we love too, but, you know, it's not a perfect world. The Rancor Keeper, I got the Power of the Force one on card, but I always wanted the vintage one. I paid $15 for him, complete with all his little accessories and his little hood here, and I think they go around for $20, $25, so I was happy to get him. I have the Rancor behind me, so now he can have the Rancor Keeper. So he doesn't just go running amok around my room. You need the Keeper to keep him, I guess, controlled. And then 4-Alarm, so I was really happy to find him. I paid $25 and he was worth about $20 to $25, but I was just happy to see that his eyes look good and the little red thing there look good, and he's got his gun and all that, so I was totally nerding out. So I was really happy to get a Dewback, of course, from Star Wars. He doesn't have the reins and stuff, and obviously you pay a little more when they're complete, but I just kind of wanted to saddle because I do have a Stormtrooper that was my original Stormtrooper I owned when I was a kid, and he has got no feet. A lot of my action figures I owned as a kid, I would tear limbs off, usually hands and stuff, and I would add fake blood to them. I had no idea that I shouldn't even looked at them, should put the package away until I was old enough nerd to appreciate the fact that you just put them in plastic and you hang them on your walls. I would have had the original Star Wars on card. Anyway, I did it. You ripped them off, you threw them around, you beat your sister up with them, and you put blood on them and all that. As I get more nerdier and seem to spend more on toys and less on groceries and adult stuff that I should be spending on, I try to find stuff in the original box, even though it's not mint box or anything like that. So this is the, the tripod laser cannon. So I do have an extra little snowtrooper, a vintage snowtrooper figure that I'm going to put behind this cannon. He's going to be shooting some of my other action figures. Boy, that'll be fun. That'll be fun for hours to play. All right, filing under go big or go home. Like I said, the most expensive thing I bought was that Planet of the Apes lunchbox. But the biggest thing I bought, and one of the first things I saw, and I told myself, I think we spent 5 hours there. So we were there opening to 8 to 1. I think they went till 3, but we did want to get back home for the doggy. But so I found this still there, and it had 100 on it. I figured on the way to the car, I'll just throw out 80, see if he'll take it. He immediately was glad to get rid of it for 80. I think when people have these big items, they don't always want to pack them again. So it's a do-back, the Power of the Force one that came out in 2000 with the Trooper. And actually, I'm going to be really careful and unbox this thing and then set it up. Of course, not on camera time, but in camera magic time, you'll see a shot of it all set up, and I will be pretty happy with this. This, again, raises my stakes of being cool. When people come down to my basement and see this, they thought I was cool, but now after this, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, dude, you're too cool. I shouldn't even be in your house. You're too cool." You want to take it out of the plastic? You can see it there.
I was gonna take it out of plastic on camera.
Oh, cool.
That's my unboxing, baby. Okay, so unlike Brian, I didn't buy a lot of stuff. So unfortunately for me, the toy show didn't have a lot of things that I'm interested in collecting in, so I only found a few things that I was actually willing to buy. One thing from my childhood that he mentioned from before is that me and my younger sister were really big into playing Nintendo and Super Nintendo. So I kind of nerd out when I see some of those things because I get, pulled back into my childhood and stuff. And since we've recently rehooked them back up, I've been playing some games. So it's nice to get some of the games that we weren't able to get as kids. Even though we played them a lot. So one of the ones that I was able to find was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the second game, or the second version, the arcade game, which is one of the classic ones that I really like, just because it's like playing the arcade version. So when my younger sister and I were in elementary school, we used to go skating rinks a lot, and they had this game, and we used to spend tons of money playing it. So it's nice to have it actually on.
And we live here in Brookfield, or Brookfield Home. I think they say it's the largest arcade, but Brookfield, Illinois has a huge arcade, and they have this game, right? This is the one you play.
So I play it all the time there. So it's kind of nice to have a classic game that I'm used to playing, and it came with the instruction booklet, which is often hard to find. So we paid $15 for this. We got it as a bundle with another game that we bought. So that was pretty good. They usually run anywhere from I don't even know, 25 to 30 with the manual. Sometimes the manuals themselves just go for $5 to $10. So it's nice to get a game that has the manual with it already, because then you don't have to hunt for the manuals on their own. So we did buy other manuals, just like Brian did. So I got a couple that I didn't have. So for Top Gun and Top Gun the second mission. This game I have, this game I don't have yet, so I'll be on the hunt to find a nice version of that one. But these are both for NES. And then unfortunately I already had all of these for Super Nintendo and Sega. So Jurassic Park I had for Super Nintendo already, but the one that I have with the box was actually a non-colored version. So I guess, I don't know if it was just they couldn't afford always to have colored versions, but so it's nice to have a colored printout along with the black and white one that I have. And then for Sega, I got Echo the Dolphin and then Aladdin, because I always think I don't have these, and now when I've looked, I actually have 3 of them. So 3 each. So I need to...
We're hoarding, man.
Yeah, so I need to sell some of these. So if anybody's interested, I will be putting these up probably on eBay.
Future video, I should show off your Super Nintendo and Nintendo collection, because you do have some harder to find games. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's nice that we've kept them since we were kids. So, toy that I used to play with a lot as a child was She-Ra figures. I was a huge He-Man, She-Ra collector, I guess, and I love I guess not really collector. I just like to play the game or play with the figures. And so I used to, when I was a child, actually pretend like I was He-Man and run around and say I was He-Man. My older sisters,
like a wooden spoon or spatula.
Yeah,
or...
no kidding.
I used to use a 2x4 to shoot people with, so...
Yeah, so...
We were creative back then.
Yep, and there's an age difference between us, so you can only imagine.
Just 6 months. We have the age difference.
I don't know, why would...
Toys!
Cut that part out, doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll cut that out.
Whatever. Anyway, so as a child, I used to run around and play He-Man, mostly when I got a little bit older and She-Ra came out, because He-Man came out first. When She-Ra came out, then I started to play with the She-Ra stuff, and this was something I've didn't have as a child, but I've always been kind of just eyeballing it on eBay. So this is the Crystal Moonbeam. It doesn't have any of the accessories, so they would have a saddle and the wings, because it's supposed to be a flying Pegasus. I only paid $10 for it, and usually on eBay, just in this condition alone, it's about...
Have to yell at the cat. Hold on. You can continue.
In this condition alone, it's about $15 to $20, so getting it for $10 is not bad. Upon closer inspection, I probably could have gotten a little cheaper just because there are some dings on the one side, but if you just display it on the side that doesn't have the dings, then it's not so bad. So I will be on the lookout to actually get the accessories to go with it, so hopefully I can have a complete thing.
The arch enemy of collecting is felines. So.
Yeah, because they knock everything off the shelves. So the other thing that I used to play with a lot as a child were the My Little Ponies, because those came out. And I was always into horses. My older sisters actually used to work at a stable, and so I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I think a lot of young girls really get into like ponies and they want to own their own horse. And so I kind of never grew out of that phase, and currently actually get to work with horses now, which is kind of awesome. But I loved playing with the My Little Ponies because it was like you had your own horse, because you could brush the manes, and you could...
you had to clean up the poop, though.
Yeah, you didn't have to clean up the poop, but it was kind of cool. So this was one that I think my older sister actually had more than I had, but it kind of stole it from her. So I didn't really have this one that I played with, but she had it. Anyway, so this is the So Soft Scrumptious. So she's got the, she's got a flocked body, and then... and then she's got the watermelon symbols on the side. The hard thing about these ones is usually they're not so white anymore, so even this one, it still has a little bit of yellowing and a couple of stains on it, but hopefully if I can clean it up. The dealer I bought it from was pretty honest about the fact that she didn't really clean any of her flocked ones just because it's so hard to do, and she didn't want to mess them up, so I was willing to take on the task. Sometimes when you look on eBay, you're not really sure if the ponies or even any of like the She-Ra figures, their hair has been cut. Like that's a big thing like girls do apparently to try to style their figures. And so it was nice to see one that actually had like the whole mane intact, the tail was all the way intact. Same thing with this one. So sometimes you can't find those. So I paid $20 for this, which was about average. Usually on eBay it goes anywhere from $20 to $40. So I wasn't, too shocked with the price on that one. But it was nice to find one that didn't have a lot of markings. It just has a few that I'm hopeful that I can try to clean off on my own. It also didn't have any writing on it. A lot of times people would put their initials like on the bottoms, especially just so when you're playing with your friends you don't mistakenly take somebody else's stuff. So it was nice to find that didn't have that on it. So that was my purchases.
So as you can see, we've got some awesome junk to add to our other junk, and we're running out of room in this little house we own. But we're really happy with the Chicago Toy Show. If you're in the area, for sure, check it out. I think it happens every April and October. For sure, check it out. But just stand in line behind me. Let me look at things first, huh? All right, thanks for watching.